Hi friends, today we will start with applications, its modules and what they all can contain. I will also explain other basic concepts along with a demo. So let's start with what is an application. An application is a collection of one or more modules and can be executed in the runtime. An application must contain exactly one application module and zero or more shared modules. First, we have application module. It contains all the business logic and the startup processes, shared resources, schemas, etc. Every application must contain one application module, but an application module can be a part of more than one applications. Then we have a shared module. Shared modules contain resources, schemas, and sub-processes. They export their functionality to application modules or to other shared modules. To explain the relationship, let's take an example of a pizza delivery. You order a pizza. It has to come in a package, which is an application. The main functionality is offered by pizza, which is the application module, and the extra things needed by the pizza, like sauces, are shared modules. They do not have any value on their own. They have to be used by other modules. Hope this makes it clear. Let's start with design. In BW6, we have an Eclipse-based studio which is used for development. Anyone who has used Eclipse before will find the development very familiar. On the top, we have Project Explorer where you can view applications in the current workspace. Then we have a File Explorer from where you can view files on the local machine. Then this is the Process Editor. Here we can develop all the processes. Property tab below will show the property of the selected resources or an activity. On the right, we have activities. They are the actions that we want to perform. Similar activities are grouped together in palettes. All the JDBC activities are grouped together in JDBC palette, JMS activities in JMS palettes, HTTP activities in HTTP palettes, and so on. Let's see these concepts with the help of a demo. Open the studio from your application. For installation of Studio, see the link in the description. You will be asked which workspace to use. Workspace is like a folder on disk that will store the required files. One workspace can contain multiple applications and modules. Studio will open to a welcome page. Here we are provided with some samples. We can use them or directly create new application from scratch. By default, the design perspective gets opened. Click on New Project. In the BW folder, we have an option to create the application. If we select BW application and give it a name, an application module is created with name .module. However, if we go back and select create application module, one application gets created with .application. Both do the same thing, but naming convention is different. We will go ahead with the first approach. After giving the project name, we have to specify project location. By default, it is created in the workspace, but we have an option to change the destination. Then name the version. As this is a new project, we will keep the default version, which is 1.0.0. Then we have to select the deployment target. If our application is going to be deployed on-prem, select app space. If it's going to be deployed on container, select container. Otherwise, Tibco cloud. Click on next. BW6 has special folders for all the processes, resources, etc. Select the folders that you need in your project. Then click on next. Then these are the names of special folders. Let's keep the default ones and move forward. When you click on Finish Application, application modules will be created with special folders. Inside the Processes folder, a default package is created along with a process. This is the project library. This is the palette library. When we click on a palette, we see the relevant activities related to it. Let's start with designing a basic process. Every process needs a starter activity to tell how it's going to start. Here we are going to use timer. Timer is an activity which allows us to specify the time when the process has to be executed. It can run once or even repeat. Then we will use a log. Log is used to log any message on the console. Let's create a transition between them. Transition is used for specifying the direction of the process. In the input of the log activity, mention the message that we want to print on the console. Let's print hello world. Our basic process is ready. Let's debug it. This is the debug symbol. We can also run the application, but debug allows us to add breakpoints and check job data at various levels. When we select debug configuration, click on the BW application. Then select the processes that we want to run. All the starter processes can be selected here, and if any sub-process is used, it will be selected automatically. Then click on Debug. The debug perspective opens automatically. Here we can see the job data and add breakpoints. Check the console for output. Hello world, which was our message, is printed here. Let's observe the job more closely. When we click on timer, we can see the data which got populated for that particular job. If we select log activity, the data related to that particular activity appears here. Now let's stop the debugger and create a deployable artifact called as an ER. Select the application, click on Overview, click Export Application for Deployment. We need to provide an ER location and a name. If we want to go with the default name, that's also fine. When we click on Finish, an ER will be created at that location. So we have created our first application. Thank you for watching.